Hey everybody, it's Kyle. Hey, I want to tell you, I've got some exciting news. So I want to tell you that this whole autism awareness thing, it's working. And maybe not for the older generation, but certainly for a lot of our generation and the younger generation, we're seeing a lot of experiences and good results. And I want to share one of those with you. One of my responsibilities is I mentor and I'm kind of an advisor to a group of 16 and 17-year-old young men here in Boise. And yesterday, as we were talking, there was probably 7 or 8 of us in there. One of the young men shared an experience with me, and his name is Jacob. He shared it with all of us. So Jacob works at a movie theater, and he has a little bit of responsibility. And so he was doing a few things at the movie theater. I think he was doing some restocking, and he noticed over his shoulder, he noticed what looked like a 12-year-old young man that was going from theater entrance and opening and kind of looking in and shutting it and looking confused, and then going to the next theater entrance. And Jacob realized that something wasn't right. So he went over to the young man and he said, "Hey, can I help you? Are you lost? Is there anything I can help you with?" And he said the young man kind of grunted at him and then just walked off. And so Jacob knows Eric, my son on the spectrum. And Jacob and all the other guys in the class are just wonderful to Eric. Every time they see him, they don't expect anything out of him. But every time they see him, they say, "Hey, Eric, how you doing?" And sometimes he'll grunt, sometimes he'll say fine, sometimes he burrows his eyebrows. It doesn't really matter to these young men because they know that acknowledging him is good for him and it helps him, and they do it so consistently. Well, because he knows Eric and he understands a little bit about what autism is, he realized that maybe there was something going on with this young man. So he kind of started following him around, and the 12-year-old boy, about 12-year-old, didn't really want him to follow him and looked pretty uncomfortable and unhappy. And so Jacob was calmly and, quietly asking him, "What can I do to help? Are you okay?" And the little boy was going from theater to theater and getting more and more frantic. And at one point, or more than one point, tried to leave the theater. And Jacob was able to, in a kind way, help him stay in the theater. And even called some other people and got him some popcorn and gave him some coins to play some video games as they searched for. And Jacob stayed with him as everybody else searched for his parents. Well, after about an hour, which kind of surprised Jacob, a couple of the movies let out and a family came out frantic. And sure enough, it was their son. And Jacob was a little confused because he knows me and he knows Eric, and there's no way an hour is going to go by. And he didn't really understand. And till this family came up and just was so frightened and so scared and grabbed their son and hugged him and loved him and said, "Thank you so much," and they left. And Jacob was a little confused by all this until about a week later, and Jacob pulled a piece of paper out of his pocket. And he said, "Would you read this?" And he handed it to me, and I thought, oh no, here we go. I'm not sure I can read it because I think he was going to get emotional too. But as I opened it up, I read to the group of young men. And it said that they were from California, and they were here in Boise to watch the eclipse, which is a couple of weeks ago. And while they were here, they decided to go see a movie. And they like to do this, and this is a common thing for them. But they always go to the same theater, number one, in California. And number two, their son likes to sit on the front row, and they prefer to sit a little higher. And he likes that independence, and so they like to give that to him. Well, he had snuck out of the theater, and they didn't know it and got disoriented, and they had no idea until the movie was over and the lights came on and he was gone. Well, the note went on to say, "Thank you so much for keeping an eye on our son. And you don't know how much it means to us to know there are other people who care enough to do the right things and to take care of our boy when he needs it. And you may have, quite likely, saved his life." So I want to let you know that there's people out there who care. They don't have kids on the autism spectrum, but they know if we'll share experiences and we'll share these things with people in a kind and loving way, we can really let these, in this case, a 17-year-old young man knew what to do and how to do it because he had experienced real life circumstances and was prepared and prepared himself to be helpful and kind and caring. And what a great story that is. And what a great example it is for us to share our situations with other people who don't know in a way that helps them understand that we need their help. Sometimes we need their help, and they want to help if they can. You know, I want to tell Jacob so much. Thank you so much. It could have been my son. It could have been your son. There's people out there that care. Let's let them know how they can help. They want to help. Hopefully that's helpful. Man, I'm so proud of Jacob. What a great world we live in. There's a lot of bad things going on. There's 10 times as many good things going on. There's great people out there. Let's find them and tell them how great they are. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.